On our first part of our morning show, as we kick off a busy week here on WRCO Radio, we're going to talk about an upcoming event sponsored by the United Church of Muscoda Presbyterian. And representing that congregation today is an elder, Cindy Bremer, along with our good friends Wendell Smith and Kurt Heisey. They're here to talk about some things going on concerning the church as well. But Cindy, we'll start with you. So you drew the short straw. But,
okay.
Thanks for coming over to the morning show studios
Thank
today.
you.
It's an impressive thing that you guys do each and every year. Can you talk about the upcoming Thanksgiving festivities?
Well, our upcoming Thanksgiving dinner is, we're going to start at 11 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. It's a community Thanksgiving dinner, so the whole community is involved in it, and they can volunteer to help, or they can volunteer to bring food for the Thanksgiving dinner, pies, whatever. And so it's been going on for quite a few years, our Thanksgiving dinner. I did it before COVID, and then we haven't done it since COVID. It started in 1993. Excuse me. Started in 1993 was the first Thanksgiving dinner. And then we didn't have anything during COVID, and now we're just starting it up again.
This is the first one back since 2020 then. Wow, that's good, and that's impressive. So very good that your church does that. Why do you think it's important to be a part of this, Cindy?
Community. Keep the community together. And oh, man, I got a frog. To keep the community together and to keep our church together, we want to be recognized in the town as a church that, we're open to everybody. We want everybody to be able to come in and join us. And, small town communities and small churches are not doing real well right now. And a lot of them are closing. We don't want to close. So we're coming up with new things that we can do, or things that we've done in the past that we want to continue with. Some of the new things we've done is we started a prayer meeting. We also have a prayer tree that you can put a slip of paper in our box and ask for prayers for a certain person, and we'll hang ribbons on the tree. And we've started that, and we have the Thanksgiving dinner now coming back. Our coffee and conversations are coming back. So we're working on keeping our church together and having this Thanksgiving dinner and having the whole community be involved in this. Is what we're happy that this is happening.
The food, you mentioned people can make it at home then, and then they bring it into the church? Is that how it works?
Yes. Or if we have people volunteering bags of potatoes, bring them in. We have two guys that love to peel potatoes, so they'll peel potatoes for us, and, we'll cook them there. If somebody cannot cook their turkey, they need to bring it into the church early so we can get it cooked before that. And, people bring in pies that day, or you can bring them in early. I will be at the church on Wednesday afternoon, evening, and Thursday morning I'll be there early. So anytime anybody wants to drop stuff off, I'll be there, so.
What were the numbers like before COVID when you put this on? Do you remember how many dinners you served typically?
When I did it before, we had between 120 and 140 people. So far, we're pushing about 60 now with the reservations, and the people from church. So, reservations are definitely needed so we don't run out of turkey, and we have quite a selective menu. People bringing in different things, and so we're going to have ham, and so people can buy ham and bring it in. We'll cook it, or they can cook it themselves. The same with the turkey. The dressing, yours truly is making the dressing.
All right.
So,
is there a secret recipe, or is it a family recipe?
Family recipe. It comes out of a box.
Well, it's all good. So if people are thinking about helping out with food, they probably need to reserve that too, or let you know what they're bringing too.
Yes. So my phone number is 608-604-5005. So it's really easy to remember, and just give me a call if I don't answer, leave a message. So
We hope a lot of people will. Let's turn over to the other side of the room here. And Kurt Heisey. Kurt, are you one of the head potato peelers then, or how does that work?
I know how to run a potato peeler, yeah, and that's about it. So I can do that, sure.
They put you to work behind the scenes then?
Home or there, it doesn't matter.
Either or.
Yes.
How long have you been a member of United Church of Muscoda Presbyterian?
Since about 1964.
Why? My goodness.
68, I guess. 68, I came to Muscoda.
So you're not a resident originally, and you weren't a resident of
No.
Wisconsin. Where'd you come from originally?
Originally from North Dakota.
Okay. So, and you've settled in. Looks like you're going to be accepted in the community.
Well, I was a school teacher and had the idea that they need school teachers any place so I can move around. And once I hit Muscoda, I decided there wasn't a better place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Been there ever since.
Yeah, it's worked out well for you.
Very well.
Are you excited to see the Thanksgiving dinner come back?
Yes. The chance to visit with people, because so many of the people know me, but I don't know them. The memory doesn't work as well, but when they greet me, instead of being a student, they're standing there with their grandchild in their hand. So it's been quite an experience, and I appreciate every bit of it.
I think about the number of students that you taught. It would be very difficult to remember all of their names, I would think.
Well, I don't remember the names, but as soon as they give me their name, I can usually connect with them. And they compliment me on being a good teacher, and I remind them that I couldn't be a good teacher without having good students. And I said that's why I was a good teacher, because of the students that I had instead.
Good legacy. Absolutely. I know you think this is important to not only bring your church members in, but to recognize the whole community, don't you?
Absolutely, because I work quite a few different places in the community with the Lions Club, the Legion, the food pantry. So it's a little community that all works together.
What's your favorite part of the dinner, by the way? Your favorite food?
Turkey.
Turkey, okay. I always go with sweet potatoes. They're pretty good. You're going to have sweet potatoes too, aren't you, Cindy?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay, whoever brings it then. So maybe that's a hint for somebody to bring those along.
Yes.
Good deal. And Wendell is here as well. Wendell, we've seen you at probably 1,000 different ball games over the years.
Yeah, probably something.
Good to have you in the studio with us.
Well, thank you.
Can you give us a little history of the church?
The church? Well, when I went back, when they merged, that was something new. At least we were told that the first time that the Presbyterians and the Methodists went together to form a church in the state. And I don't know if that's true, but that's what we were told.
That's interesting.
So it was, unusual. And we started... I got it since Veterans Day is not very far in the past. I want to mention that because our first minister as a new congregation was a man by the name of Carl Carlson, and I was a neighbor of his. It just turned out that way, and but he was an unusual man because of his background. I thought he could talk to him for hours, but he was at Pearl Harbor when the attack was, and he decided that he'd rather be in the air than on the ground, so he transferred to the Air Force, and he flew 60 missions or whatever the missions were over Europe. Was shot down once into the English Channel, and he just was full of stories, and that helped everybody get acquainted to him. He was very outgoing, and he had all that interesting stuff to talk about. But so that's when we kind of when we did get started, and there were a lot of people, of course, involved in it, and there were some almost not hard feelings, but there were some things that had to be solved. We had 2 buildings. So what do you do with 2 buildings? And besides having 2 buildings, we had 2 sets of pews, 2 organs, and all that. Everybody kind of liked the ones they had,
Right. Oh, yeah. It's hard to change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we got through it all without a fight of any kind, I think. And later we Kurt probably knows what the specifics of, but we were able to add on to the church with where the turkey will be served. And so that was a big help and a big deal. And
we call it a fellowship hall, which a lot of churches didn't have at the time. So it makes a good community room.
You bet. Do you recall the year, Kurt?
No, that I do not. Okay. I don't recall a lot of things, but that I do not. But yes, it was quite a project at the time.
Plenty of room for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Presbyterian church was eventually demolished, and the Methodist church, I looked up tried to look up something and a few things, and it was the Methodist church dated back to 1854, and the Presbyterian church, they actually moved into the village and rebuilt there, and I don't know exactly when that was, but they were there. They've been part of the village for a long time, you know, and there have been some issues, some surprises we didn't need. One Sunday when we came to church, at sometime between the service before and the one we were at, the church ceiling had come down, fallen on the pews. Fortunately, it didn't happen during the service. There was nobody there.
My goodness.
But it just came crashing down on the pews.
Wow.
And then one of the things that helped, I think, was making the welcome place, but the pews went to the Methodist church. The Presbyterian pews went to the Methodist church, and at the Methodist church they put in the congregational workers put in all new flooring and hardwood flooring, and that was a big project before we started to meet in it. But it was one that both congregations were involved with. The Presbyterian building has been gone a while now, but there is a touch of it still in the village. There's their bell that used to ring in the church is standing in honor behind the local firehouse when you come in from Richland Center. It's there. That's the original church bell.
Oh.
So that's there.
Good memory. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of good memories there. I've been thinking about this ever since, but I agreed to trying to think which organ we ended up with. But for the life of me, I can't remember which it was.
So you kept one and sold the other, then, I
suppose.
presume.
Yeah, I don't really remember the details of that, but it's been a interesting journey for everybody, I think, and worked out for a lot of years.
How long have you been a member, Wendell?
Oh, well, let's see. Actually, the coming together was in 1964, and that was I was with the Methodist Church. We were, and so we've been around a long time. But
that's unreal. Earlier this year too, I think there was. We're getting off the subject a little bit, but there was a trivia question that we had that you were actually on a state championship basketball team.
Well,
is that correct?
Not quite.
Oh.
we wanted to be. We were on a tiny school in Nebraska, and we had 13 boys in high school, and we went to the state tournaments in the small school division, and we won our first game, and Then the next night, we lost to the team that had been the champion in that class the years before. But it was a great experience. I have a framed picture of my high school team sitting on my computer and still look at it.
That's awesome.
The sad part of it is there's nobody else but me left to look at it as far as the team is concerned. That was 1954. So
that had to encourage you, though, because, I mean, you've been at thousands of basketball games since that time, but your love of sports grew back in Nebraska, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. We had I don't know how much you want to travel to the side, but we had a very small school and a gym that was used. It had been a dance hall and was converted, but we used it to play basketball, and it was the same as all of them were in those days. There were a lot of them had a low ceiling and short floor. And usually the entranceway was right under one basket or the other, and that's where people coming in stomped their feet. So you always had wet floors,
slipping around.
Yeah, it was kind of. But we had one of our players. We had one player who went on to play college basketball in not the university, but one of the state teachers' colleges. And he was about 6'1". In those days, that was tall.
Sure.
Now,
You're a point guard now, usually, at the college level.
But it was quite an adventure. And we, when we went to state, the whole village practically went with us. It just practically locked up. And because the team we played with, the big game was we played a neighboring, it was Sacred Heart. It was a Catholic school, and they were played with the public schools, but they were much larger than we were. And that was the most thrilling thing when we managed to win to go to state with those few kids. Part of the reason we went to state was because we played all the time. The old building that we played in, every kid in town knew how to get in it to make buckets. They just could use their jackknife and open the lock and go in and play.
Not much for security.
And one of my favorite stories is, and the World War was going then, and there was a shortage, and there was a minister from a neighboring town that had taken over a teacher's job just because of the shortage, and he told my dad about coming to town one Saturday morning, and he was going over to the gym to check around to see if it was something they needed or something, whatever, I don't know. But then when he went in, he said there was not a soul to be seen, but there was a basketball rolling down the floor. The kids had all saw him, and they'd all gone out the back door.
Quick exit.
So that was kind of small town stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like Hoosiers, which was in Indiana in that movie. So good stuff. Great memory. Thanks for your memories this morning, too.
You're welcome.
By the way. Back on track. Certainly, we look forward to the upcoming event. Kurt, we hope we can get the word out there and rise up some business for you guys.
Yes, that would be appreciated very much.
Your church, you continue to stay about the same? You getting some new members from time to time?
That's what we'd like to see. Our membership has been declining, and the age of the members that are there has been going up. So it's the wrong way around. We just as soon have it the other way too. So we're like a lot of the other churches around. We're concerned about membership. We certainly would welcome new members. We appreciate what we have, and we try to keep going on that. And the ones we have are very active and very supportive. So,
Well, and then events like this are things hopefully that can, maybe stir up some business for you.
That's what we're hoping for, yes, and show them that we're still there and we're able to do this, or we better say we think we're able to do this. We'll see. We'll see Friday morning how that turns out.
You guys will rest well, because I think it's a lot of work to put
Oh, yes, and our head lady has been doing very well, keeping everything organized and going, so.
And we understand that she's got some schooling to finish up. Is that
Oh, yes, and doing quite well at that also.
So, Cindy, congratulations. Tell us about that then. You'll soon be the official pastor then, is that correct?
Well, I'm not sure. It depends on Presbytery, and, they have the right, Presbytery has the right to place us anywhere. It will also depend on our session, if they want to hire me or not. So, I have 3 weeks left right now. I'm studying preaching, and I have been doing this for 2 years, and I do it all online. But I have been at the seminary in Dubuque several times for classes and seminars, and so it's really interesting. I'm learning a lot. I admit I don't know everything, and I probably never will, but what I have learned and what I've read in the Bible and been explained things, it's amazing. It's just amazing. You never realize how much stuff goes on in this world right now that happened back then too. Mm-hmm. The wars and the it's a continuous battle. But I really enjoy it, and I don't mind getting up in front of the people preaching, and I haven't heard any bad things about it, so I guess I'm doing all right.
Did you have a moment where you kind of had the call to extend this, or has it been something that's been,
Yes, I did have a moment. I had breast cancer like 16, 17 years ago, and I kind of thought about it then. But then like 4 years ago, I had lung cancer. And I had part of my lung removed, and I really did not think I was going to come out of that hospital. And when I got home, my husband and I did a lot of praying. I was in a lot of pain, but it just kind of clicked. We need some help in our church, and I think I'm the person that can do it.
Boy, yeah, so, because you've been there a lot of times, especially if you're consoling somebody that's going through some sort of treatment.
I do home visits now. Even I go out and visit shut-ins, and I do quite a bit of preaching, at least once a month, maybe sometimes twice. So, yeah.
So no guarantee you'll wind up back in Muscoda, but you'd like to be there. Though.
Yes. I'm got my fingers crossed, and I'm thinking that's probably where we'll end up.
Oh, that's awesome. Again, maybe give your numbers and how this is going to work for your upcoming Thanksgiving meal.
So we would like reservations in by this Friday, the 22nd, simply because we need to know how many people are going to be there so we don't run out of food. And my phone number is 608-604-5005, and you can call me anytime. If I don't answer, please leave a message. You don't even have to leave your name if you don't want to. Your first name is fine, and how many people you're bringing with. If you want to volunteer some food, just let me know. Call me, and we'll meet at the church where you can drop it off. So I hope we see you all there.
We hope a lot of people will sign up for that. What about the upcoming Christmas season then? Do you do anything special during that season, Cindy?
Yes, I have in the past. I've preached the candlelight service, and I've done the Christmas Day service, the Sunday service. And we've also had in the past, we've had the barn service. That kind of went down the hill because of, where do you find a barn, But I haven't planned anything yet for this Christmas, but, it could be in the works. We may do something different. I'm looking to increase the things that we do in the church, as a community, to involve the community, Christmas caroling, whatever we decide to do. We want it to be a community event, not just from our church.
Wonderful to have you in here today, Cindy.
Thank you.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
You know it'll go well. Wendell, thanks for your remembrances, too. Always good to talk trivia with you,
Thank you.
in history. And Kurt, thanks for coming in today, too.
Not a problem at all.
Good luck, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well.
Thank you.
Wendell Smith, Kurt Heisey, Cindy Bremer, representing United Church of Muscoda Presbyterian.